Piedmont, I always refer to Piedmont on one of the most interesting regions of Italy when it comes to wine, especially, and of food. That it's kind of hard to find bad wines in Langhe, especially. The average quality is incredible, which is the problem of most of the wine regions all over the world. When it comes to a wine region, usually there is the name of it, but then when you narrow it to which are the artisan and good winemakers, usually the ratio is less than 2-3%. To think about the Prosecco area, I always talk about how incredible can be Prosecco in Valdobbiadene, mentioning Renzo Reboli, Cade Izzago, Follador, but I don't think there are more than 10 winemakers that make quality Prosecco in that area, and 99% of the other production. Same thing when it comes to Chianti. Montalcino is a bit slightly different, but Langhe usually, it's hard to have a bad Barolo. There are a couple of problems when it comes to Langhe. Mainly is the effect of gentrification. So I don't know if you know it, but there is gentrification even in wine regions. Probably it started with wine regions. And the concept of terroir, if you think about it in a way, is an antelitteram concept of gentrification, because terroir, which is a French word, probably comes from the idea of claustrum. Claustrum is the little wall that surrounds a soil that for some specific climate or historical reason has more quality or produce better quality. At the beginning was not even referring to wine, it was referring in general to crops or olive oil or other things. And French actually created this beautiful, not translatable word that is this combination between human beings and soil and climate. Genius loci could be a nice Latin version of the word, which is the local genius of a specific capacity of handcraft artisan producer of something. In this specific case, if we talk about wine, here we have 3 wines of Level Wine Club 1 and 1 wine for Level 2. There is 2 different type of Barbera, and 3 wines that come from Langhe, and 1 that technically come from Asti, which is an area not so far from Langhe. 3 of these 4 wines, I'm talking about this 1, 2, 3, they technically do not exist, because actually they are part of our wine program. Has been much more extended. At the beginning, we started selecting some little bottle of wines that we liked, and then we started to talk with the winemaker. It was about selecting maybe one specific vintage or one specific cru. Then we started to select, for example, a barrel. And after that, we have been going forward, and this was done with the cooperation of course, of my business partner, Lindsay Gabbard, but also with Matt Tanner, which was our sommelier in New York. And so we chose 2 different barrels that we loved, and we created our own blend with Flavio Sobrero. And in this specific case, this is a Barolo that is mainly produced by 75%, I think 65% of Pernanno, which is one of the steepest and older vineyard of Barolo, and the other one is the area of Ciobottanasio, which is not so far from the Villero area. We're talking about Castiglione Falletto. Similar thing happened with this Nebbiolo, and this Nebbiolo came from a couple of barrels that we loved, and we asked Luca from the winery Paitin Pasquero to actually keep those wines for us. At the beginning, he wanted to give us 500 bottles, but we needed almost 2,000. So we did a challenge. There is a video that actually proved it. We asked Lindsay to do hula hop with one of the iron thing that actually built the barrel, and for how many turn of that hula hop would have been 500 bottles. So we arrived to have 2,500 bottles of this Nebbiolo. Paitin, you probably know it, he's not just a great winemaker, he's a philosopher, he's a person that really like the idea of using wine to connect and weaving different type of cultures and subject. Sometimes he sends me poems at 2 o'clock in the morning, and is an incredible person, and he comes from one of the oldest winery of Langhe, talking about almost 500 years old. Palladino has been part of our wine project for ages. I think is the first epiphany I had with the Barolo was Palladino 1978. I was with my colleague Gaetano and Maurizio, and with Alessandro Roscioli in a 2-star Michelin restaurant, Aimo e Nadia, in Milan, and we had the Paladino 78, and I loved it. The Barbera here is a Barbera that has a bit of an oak flavor. It's nice and smooth, but it's got a nice acidity, slightly warmer comparing to the Asti one. This is a more traditional type of Barbera, a bit more tight. This is a wine goes more with pork chops, something a bit more fatty. This is the Barbera that goes more with ham and salami, while the Nebbiolo here, you could go maybe with the stew, and this is ideal with a fillet steak or even some medium hard cheeses like Comté or Parmigiano Reggiano. So I'm kind of proud. I stopped writing on the label wine club label exclusive label Roscioli. It's a wine exclusive because technically this is not just a label we stick on the bottle. This is a wine that was created. It's an upgrade of the normal Ciabotanasio producer for Sobrero. Same thing of this Paladino and this Barbera. We are working on Stella, and we're gonna visit him probably soon, maybe starting a new project with him. So ideal would be to taste all this wine together in one night, starting from this, and finishing with this one here. But you have to, in that case, be part of both of the wine club, which I always highly suggest to get a bit of a discount and to double it, level 1, level 2, share it with some friends or some family members. You have more wines and you can play a bit more with the philological approach that we have in selecting our wines.